On the previous video, we finished the fuselage. It's all done now, and the next step is the wings. I took some measurements for the IDS is a system from KST, all in plastic. I measure now. We'll dig some hole to see if it's going through the wing or not, if it's possible to do like this or not. First tests are going on with the two servo in one pocket is the KST and the King Max. The King Max is for the air brakes and the KST for the flaps. Still have to mount the flaps, but apparently they are not touching each other. They are working perfectly like this, just good enough. The height of this KST, this one is as low as possible, and they will be glued like this. Can access the servo here for the King Max, just two here, but at the end I made a little holder for the back of the servo. For the aileron, the work is going on. I think I found the right size of the arm. The arm is made homemade with PETG carbon, printed with the Bamboo Lab, own design. I already put the protection for the glue. I will epoxy this in place like it is now. I think I will just put the glue on the servo mount, install everything with the glue under, and then I will redo the glue around the all servo mounts. The servo is still not glued, but we can see here how it works. If I pull a bit, that's all preset. Just have to put the epoxy to hold everything in place. But it works fine with the servo tester. Some tests were needed to do the own arm. This is the IDS KST 12 from Servo Ramen Punto D. I started with the original, but it was touching on top and at the bottom. And then the first one, and then all the evolutions to go down to the PETG carbon arm. It's time to glue the servo in the wing. The real problem is that if you mount the servo with the axis under this one, it's really difficult to put the glue, but as well to put the glue and center the servo. I found the tricks to invert this part and to stay above. I mean, the distance is going to be pretty much the same, and to glue the servo directly like this, nice and easy. I pre-drill with 2 millimeters bit. Now I will use the Rotex M2, even though I will install the M25. This is M25, M3, because the next drill bit is M3, M25 here, and but it looks like quite big. Then I will try to use the M2 initially and see if with the soldering iron I can push them down. It looks possible. We'll see. I think with the M2 drill bit, it looks good. It will hold quite well, and it will go inside the hole nice and easy. I pre-installed the M2.5 just in pushing inside the hole, and now warm it up, and it should go in on its own, which is the case. When you are at the border, release and make a good job. Can do the second one. Same thing. Maybe they're upside down, but I found them easier to preset. And again, straight, warm up, push down until the border. Adjust this one a bit. Job done. At the end, the job is really nice. All inserts are installed. The servo will just fit perfectly inside. And now with a bit of Loctite, the servo will never move again. Of course, the second one goes like this. This part is going to be under the servo pocket. Then I made a support for the servo, slide in, 2 screws. And this is the servo for the flap and the one for the air brakes. It's not going super well. In fact, I have to open the servo pocket here by 2 centimeters just to let the servo going out. It makes just a servo pocket a little bit bigger, but at the end I think it's not a big deal. It's going to be all flat like the wing, then with a scotch around or even without, just maybe able to make it super nice. I made the servo pocket a little bit bigger then. This is a 3D print, just at the size of the hole. Now this is the 3D print. I will make it fibered on top. Like this I can prime, sand and paint like the color of the wings. The servo is ready to glue inside the servo pocket. I mount one servo to be able to hold it. Some measurements to put the axis and the distance here as well. I will just glue with the epoxy and reinforce later on with some microbalance. With the rest of the mix of resin made for the gluing the aileron, I just put 160 gram fiberglass on top of the 3D printed plate, and those plates will be sanded and painted. It's time to finish the air brakes. The air brakes on the kit, they are already installed. Just have to adjust the top of it, which is a separate part given in the kit as well. Same color as the wings, carbon on the other side. Now to adjust the air brakes, we use the old-fashioned way. I think it's the old-fashioned way with some balsa to make different layers. Like this, you are able to send the balsa where you need to adjust the top. Like this, with this 2 layer of balsa, is nearly okay. I think I have to sand a bit here, but on this side is quite already perfect. Some adjustments on the side of the top of the air brakes, but it doesn't look so bad to do. This is another 3D print made for the servo cover of the flaps. It's a bit angled because the pocket is not exactly at the same angle of the wing. Then now it's not the first one. I have to admit, print a few of them, but this one goes perfectly, goes in. And the servo works as well perfectly. This one will be sanded and primed and painted the same color. The job is done. For the servo cover in the Airworld kit, you get this part. You get 4 of them, of course, for the ailerons, And for the flaps, the one I made, they are a little bit bigger here, maybe a bit wider, and this is just because the axes of my servo, they are much bigger than the one planned initially with the airward kit. Starting to work on the servo cables for the wings. This is the harness I'm starting to work with. This is the Emcotech EWTC9. Is made for 3 servos, one for the flaps, aileron, and one for the air brakes. It's a super easy system to mount. Of course, the plug is already mounted, ready to connect. Of course, on this side, you just have to connect the servo plug directly on the system. I'm using this system since so many years with the Shark, this on the wings, and it works just perfectly. It's really nice. This set I received is a bit tight, I will say, to put inside the plug, but I start to sand a bit the top and the bottom of this plug, and now it start to fit perfectly. He has a little click, and you know he's inside, and it will not move at all. That is super secure, super safe. I love it. I prepared the length of the servo cables, cut at the good size. Now I'm making some snakeskin for the first part of the wing, where the connector will goes out and plug into the fuselage. I think on the other, I made a little mistake. This one, it will be fine as well, but this one is coming out of the plug, but there is one. This part is inside, meaning that it will be totally flush with the fuselage, but it will work as well. I'll just keep them because it's quite expensive, but I will keep it like this for the time being at least. I will at the beginning, but it will work, I'm sure. A small tip is a tip time to mount the clevis here on the servo horn. It's always too small or too big, because the clevis is 1.5 millimeters, and I found this on internet. I think I bought it with Amazon. There you find 1.2, 1.6. 1.6 is just perfect for this 3 millimeters clevis. It doesn't move at all, and the job is done, precise and strong. As you can see here as well, I bought some fuse from Schembeck. It's the 150 to 300 Newton fuse. Those fuse, they are here because I don't use the center box, and I have nothing to protect the rest of the system in case of one of the servo get mad. I hope I will do the job, but it's installed on the 2 flaps and air brake servo as well for the aileron is installed there. Just made this pin. It's just 6 millimeters. I make a pick in the front. This is to make the mark on the fuselage where exactly is the wings holder with the screw. This one just goes from one side to the other side like this. Is making the exact point where I need to drill the hole on the fuselage. The wing is complete. This is the cover for the aileron with the ADS systems, homemade at the end, at least for the axis. The lettering, the flaps servo in the cover, fiberglass cover, 3D printed fiberglass and painted covers. The ball for the control of the flaps. At the end we have the 25 millimeters long screw to hold in the fuselage, the EWC plugs and the pin. The wing is complete. It's time to take care of the wing. I'll start to remove all the little stuff, maybe some glue like here, can see, and then polish the wing to get a shiny and beautiful wings. I use different cream or polish. I bought this Michelin polish machine. When I've in the order, when I started with something really, I need really a deep polish, is the abrasive past, then this Zonax, and then the compound and the polish. Of course, when is a big spot like this right there, I go directly with the sandpaper and water. After sanding with the very thin grain, now you can see it's not shiny anymore on the wings, all the area, but I remove the little dot. Now we'll go with the Zonax by hand, and just to polish this part with the Zonax, we'll remove the little line. Now you can see after the Zonax, maybe a little mark here now, but it's back to the shine. Yeah, it's not too bad. Then the next step is the compound. This is for the whole wing with the machine, and just for the last touch, the polish as well with the machine, but with a different sponge. Mark another spot like this. You can see between the two marks here, we have the sanding part here. See through the lights. This is with the sandpaper, and now I will use the Zonax. I apply the Zonax for the first time. Sometimes I use it twice. Now see already. It looks like it's still there, but much better. I will do another time. The job is done. It's quite clear now. Everything is gone between the two marks. I can do the compound again. Next step is to put the sticker below the wings, and I will put as well the tape. We'll fill up the gap. This tape is made in two parts. There is the gluing part and the Mylar on the other side. In fact, this one is not very good one, but I have another address, and I will put the address below. You'll find a super good tape, and is going to fill the gap between the aileron and the flaps and the wings, of course. A little trick here, I built this plate which is attaching on each pin on each side. It's just to hold the connector in place, not that it falls down inside the wings, and then it's difficult to catch it back. But quite easy setup, one plate, and make the job. I hope you enjoyed this build series about the SW15 from Airworld. It's a fantastic glider. I admit he flew already. You will see the video very soon. I hope you enjoy all the build series, and I see you on the next video. Ciao!